I would like to fight with Islam, that's for sure. I would like to fight him.
Fight if they give you like a #1 contender fight.
I wouldn't fight for a #1 contender fight.
Look, also, it's the most marketable fight. Everybody else has lost to him.
He doesn't want to fight me. I don't care.
My mindset is always the same. I'm always looking to achieve things that no one could. So if someone could submit him, I will be the first one to submit him.
Any specific submission?
Now I heard some love from some idiots, but it's gonna happen.
Ilia, Khabib recently said that he wanted you to face Charles before fighting Islam. He believes you beat Charles. What did you make of Khabib's comments, and why do you think he wanted you to fight Charles before fighting Islam?
Honestly, I don't care what he wants.
Question for Ilia Topuria. The former UFC lightweight champion, Islam Makhachev, was critical of you this week. He went on an interview and he
We don't give a fuck about him, so save that question.
It would be much better for me to fight him in 170. And I will beat him and get the third title. That will be the best scenario for me.
Ilia isn't just calling out Islam Makhachev, he's vowing to make history by giving Islam the first submission loss of his career. The message is bold, the confidence is sky high, and the showdown fight fans have been craving is now closer than ever.
Ilia, over here. Obviously, I know you wanted to fight Islam Makhachev. He's going to 170. Do you think he'll have success up there? Because he is one of the bigger fighters in your division right now.
Well, can you repeat that question, please?
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Ilia Topuria didn't hold back when taking aim at Islam Makhachev. His trash talk was icy, calculated, and absolutely ruthless. He went as far as claiming that no one cares about Islam, not even in his home region of Dagestan. And he didn't stop there. Ilia mocked Islam's entire training approach, saying Islam is already scared and preparing too early. Topuria also pointed to Merab Dvalishvili's recent dominance over a Dagestani fighter as proof that Georgian pressure breaks their style. According to Ilia, Islam's game plan is outdated and his strategies are already failing.
You recently said that no one gives an about Islam.
No one gives a fuck about him. Even in Dagestan, when he's fighting, the people goes to sleep and they watch his fight in the morning.
Is it true? How did you get that information?
I know that.
You know?
I know that from people that lives in Dagestan.
You got people on the ground in Dagestan.
Yeah.
Islam, I don't know if you saw this, has been training with someone that you've trained with. This guy's come 2-3 years in Dagestan. Is this Islam trying to prepare for you already?
The last fight that I remember when a Georgian faced a Dagestani guy, it was Merab against their cousin, right? We all know what happened. They don't have to make that mistake to send them there. Maybe they have to go to Georgia and learn some wrestling.
You've got a great facility in your house. Should people start spending 2-3 years in the Topuria house and forget?
Not specifically in my house. They can go to Georgia.
Okay.
But earlier, Ilia Topuria made it clear that he doesn't believe Islam Makhachev is avoiding him, at least not right now. Despite all the hype and escalating trash talk, Ilia showed a rare moment of respect, saying Islam isn't ducking the matchup. Instead, he believes the moment is coming when their showdown becomes inevitable, a clash they're both destined to face.
This was meant to be Islam, that was the big talk, but he moved up to welterweight. Do you believe he moved up to welterweight to avoid you, or because he has his own goals?
Because he has his own goals. This is what I think.
Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions. Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division and we have the fight that everyone wants to see.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria said he isn't backing down from greatness. He believes if he ever stepped into the cage with the undefeated legend Khabib Nurmagomedov, he'd come out on top, no doubt about it.
ჩემი საოცრებო მეტოქევია. აი ვისნაცა გული დგინდა რომ ერთხელ დაუვიღე. დიდი სიამოვნებით ოქტაგონზე შევიდოდი ხაბიბ ნურმაგომედოვთან. რატო? რატო მასთან? ცხებელი რეკორდი აქვს 29-0-ზე და ატრაქტიული რეკორდი აქვს ჩემთვის. მე კიდე ისტორიულად ღირსეული ჩემპიონი არის საპატივცემულო ჩემპიონი არის და ამარცხებ 100%.
Please tell these guys, let's go with your chicken.
And that's not the end. Ilia Topuria even responds to Khabib Nurmagomedov, "I'm the one to take the belt from Islam Makhachev." Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev's rivalry has reached another level. Both want to beat each other and are still chasing today. Daniel Cormier said Khabib wouldn't have become a global superstar without Conor McGregor's rivalry taking him to the next level and making him a symbol of strength and faith. Likewise, DC thinks that Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev may need each other in order to both become legends. Rivalries create greatness.
Without Conor McGregor, Khabib doesn't go to the moon. You need that guy. And I think Ilia Topuria and Islam might be that for each other. So while you may not like each other, you may need each other to go to the next level. So I appreciate Conor for helping Khabib achieve the life that he has today. Right after Conor McGregor, he was a global superstar.
It even brought religion in there. Islam, like the religion was inspired
by Khabib.
By Khabib.
Because they needed him to go take care of this bad guy that was attacking everything that they stand for. If you know Khabib, he's really committed to his religion. He went and did away with the bad guy that was attacking the Muslim community.
Ilia Topuria has ranked as the first pound-for-pound fighter and two-division champion at the same time, while the legendary UFC analyst Dean Thomas explains why he deserves that.
Ilia Topuria last weekend beat Charles Oliveira to become the lightweight champion, making him a double champ. Now, Ilia Topuria on yesterday was announced as the new #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Dean Thomas, do you agree with that? Do you think, though, that by Ilia becoming the lightweight champion, he's pound-for-pound #1?
Absolutely. When you look at his strength of schedule, when you look at the guys that he's beaten, he was already, even without the Charles Oliveira win, he was already in the ranking to being one of the best. I would say top 3, top 5 for sure, maybe top 3. But the win over Charles Oliveira, first round knockout, solidifies Ilia Topuria as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, no doubt about it.
So, Dino,
Ilia Topuria wants Islam Makhachev's UFC title, and he thinks the lightweight champions team is on the run. In a recent interview, Makhachev's close friend and mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, stated his case for why Arman Tsarukyan deserves the next shot at Makhachev and not Topuria. Ilia Topuria's bold confidence isn't just talk. He says beating Islam is his main motivation for moving up to the lightweight division. This fight isn't just about belts. It's personal, and Ilia is hungry to prove he's the best.
So what makes you want to move up to 155?
Because I really believe that I can beat the current champion, Islam. You can't be a world champion by chance, you know, you have to do things great.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But I like the competition, and I don't like to be a bully and fight with people that I know 100% that I'm gonna whoop his ass. You know, I like to fight with people that the fans think that it's gonna be very competitive.
Ilia Topuria is known not just for his power and confidence, but for his fighting IQ and ability to study his opponents with surgical precision. After the brutal knockout, he showed huge respect toward Charles.
All he does all the time, he walks forward. He's a warrior. He's a lion. So I knew it like, wow. I'm gonna knock him out in the first round. Once he's gonna start to walk forward, I'm gonna start with my combinations, and I'm gonna put him to sleep. But at the end of the day, all the respects for Charles. We respect him. We appreciate for everything he has done in the sport. He's an amazing sportsman, an amazing human being. He represents good values. He's always surrounded by his family, teammates, and friends. So I don't have anything else to say about him than respectful words.
In a recent interview, Ilia explained that leading into one of his biggest fights, he closely examined and studied Charles Oliveira's previous bouts to understand his habits, rhythm, and his weaknesses. That breakdown, he said, provided him with the exact technique for knocking out Charles's teammate, And that's exactly how it played out.
You know, Ilia, I know you said this to a bunch of people as you were heading into the fight with Charles, that you were going to put him to sleep and you weren't going to do it in the 4th round or the 5th round. You were going to do it in the 1st round. And I think a lot of people said, oh, this guy's crazy. Like, there's no way he's going to do this to Charles Oliveira. And then what do? You do exactly that. Where do you get
what I know?
Yeah. How do you know, Ilia? How do you know? Because you did something nobody else could do.
Yeah, because I know what I'm able to do inside that octagon. And when I used to say this, and it comes from cockiness, but then in reality, it's because I know what I'm able to do inside that octagon. I know how skillful I am. I know how hard I work for every fight. So when I get the confirmation of the fight and I start to watch Charles fights, I was like, I'm gonna knock him out in the 1st round, because all I need from someone is him to stop in the middle of the octagon with me and really bang with me.
Right.
And then I'm gonna do the rest of the job. And with Charles,
right now, Ilia Topuria is focused on his upcoming fight with Paddy Pimblett, but his eyes are set on a bigger prize, namely to fight Islam Makhachev. Ilia has expressed several times that beating Islam is his real reason for moving to the lightweight division.
You mentioned you want to face Paddy next, obviously, if you do win the title this Saturday. You said that he needs one more fight. How big, obviously not to look past Charles, but how big do you think that fight could be given your history together?
That fight easily could be one of the biggest in the UFC history.
Are there any hard feelings still towards Paddy?
Listen, I don't used to take anything personal in this game. It's all professional.
Paddy is the intermediary challenge, but everyone is aware that the real fight for Ilia is when if he fights Islam. This isn't just about belts or titles. It's about legacy and being the best in one of the most competitive divisions in MMA. MMA fans are wondering if Ilia's bravado translates into reality and if he'll be able to beat one of the dominant champs. But Ilia is giving Paddy a chance to get the title fight.
If he wants to assure his title shot, he has to fight with Justin Gaethje, because if he fights with Arman, I think that Arman's gonna beat him. So the easiest path he has right now to get the title shot is Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Stylistically.
Thank you.
So, what do you think? Can Ilia really back up this fearless claim? Or is Islam going to show why he's been at the top for so long? Can Ilia really back up this fearless claim against one of the most dominant fighters in MMA history? What would a win over Islam mean for Ilia's legacy and the entire lightweight division? Let us know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're hyped for this potential clash, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest fight news, analysis, and exclusive content. The countdown to greatness starts now. Stay tuned.
And last one from me. Earlier today, Islam Makhachev did an interview and said he's not ruling out coming back down to 155. But if it was up to you, would you rather fight him at 170 to get that 3rd title, or would you be willing to fight him at 55 because that's the division that people say he might be the best at?
It would be much better for me to fight him in 170, and I will beat him and get the 3rd title. That will be the best scenario for me.
I know UFC want to do some big fight in White House. Which fight is gonna be bigger than this? I know he's gonna fight soon. He want to fight in White House, and I also want to be there. If UFC want this fight, we can do this. If I have to cut 155, then I might have to pay for this.
Ilia called you out. He said you're like the most boring fighter in the UFC.
I'm ready. Who is gonna be next? Amaru, Topuria, you know. Let's do this. I will make it easy. All killers want to take my belts. I don't give enough.
Ilia Topuria has straight called out Islam Makhachev even before his own fight against Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight belt. And this is all done because Ilia Topuria wants to hold 3 belts at a time.
Very happy to be able to headline this kind of event. I remember I fought once in the preliminary cards in the International Fight Week. Now that I have the chance to headline this event, I'm very happy and very excited.
Yeah.
This is the happiest I ever have been in my training camps because of the weight cut. I have been able to enjoy the whole process, and I feel ready, man. I don't know. I think you guys are not even expecting to what you're gonna see on June 28th.
Having won the UFC featherweight championship in dominant style, Ilia has now made the move up to 155 pounds for what will be his second title fight at UFC 317. Topuria enters his second title shot with the same fearlessness and hunger that propelled him to become champion at 145.
I don't care. Anyways, I'm gonna put the both belt in my shoulders. Anyways.
When asked whether Charles is a less dangerous or easier opponent than Islam, Topuria didn't dismiss either contender. He mentioned that every bout at this level is demanding, and both individuals are exceptional fighters. He declined to state that one is easier or more challenging than the other, only that both present significant obstacles. To him, every match at this top level is perilous, and he's committed to doing his part, staying prepared and accepting whoever arrives.
More dangerous fight than Islam, you say? I don't know. Every fight is a huge challenge. There's no easy fights when you get in this level. So they both represent a difficult matchup, of course, because they are both great athletes. They have completely different styles. So I don't know what to tell you. They both difficult fights.
When asked if he feels sad that he didn't get the chance to hold two belts at the same time, which is often seen as a historic achievement like McGregor or Cormier, Topuria said he doesn't care. In his own confident words, "I'm going to put both belts on my shoulders anyway." Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria eyes on Islam Makhachev, and he is continuously chasing him.
We thought maybe it'd be Islam Makhachev here, obviously it's Charles Oliveira instead. Any disappointment in that? I mean, it's a title, it's actually an undisputed championship, and he's a legitimate guy. But is there any upset that you didn't get to take it off the guy that was the champ?
Yeah, to be honest, I wanted to face him because he was the guy who was dominating everyone in that weight division. But at the end of the day, I can't control what they do. The only thing I can control is what I do. So I wanted to move up. I wanted to fight for the title. This is what I'm doing. So he decided to move up also. So I can't do anything else than go and fight whoever wants to fight me.
Ilia Topuria isn't just a knockout artist. He's a complete devastating machine. Before UFC, he was a submission threat too. Now he boldly claims he's better than Charles Oliveira on the ground and can finish him either by knockout or submission in the first round. With Oliveira always pressing forward, Topuria says they'll meet head-on in the center of the octagon, and he's ready to end it fast. Early round finish. That's his prediction.
To be honest, I feel that I have the advantage in the grappling game also. I feel and I know that I'm better than him even in the ground game. So we'll see how the fight will go, because if I have to submit him, I have all the abilities to do that also. So we'll see. I can knock him out, I can submit him, whatever. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm gonna knock him out in the first round or submit him in the first round, because he walks forward. I'm not gonna need to close the distance with him. Since the first moment, we are gonna find each other in the center of the octagon. So yeah, it's gonna be a first round finish.
Now, Charles Oliveira knows everything about lightweight. He has fought with the best fighters. He has the advantage over Ilia Topuria in terms of experience and the plus point he has fought. Title fights 2 times before. So beating him is not an easy game.
You look at Charles's most famous fights, right? Dustin, Gaethje, the 2 Chandler fights. He gets dropped in each fight, but he comes back and he wins those fights. So when you see that, do you look at it and go, man, if these guys drop him, I'll get him? Or do you look and think, man, if I hurt him, I still have to be very, very careful because he always comes back and wins?
If I hurt him, he's not gonna have the chance to come back. Because my power is completely different than the other guys you mentioned before.
Finally, he cleared all the doubts regarding fighting Islam Makhachev. Islam is definitely on the list whom Ilia will fight next. At the right time, he said he will fight Islam for sure. But currently, both are in preparation to beat their new opponents at the new weight class. Furthermore, he also cleared the misunderstanding whether Islam is ducking him or not.
There's been a lot of talk in MMA about ducking at the moment. John Jones ducking Tom Aspinall, stuff like that. This was meant to be Islam, that was the big talk. But he moved up to welterweight. Do you believe he moved up to welterweight to avoid you, or because he has his own goals?
Because he has his own goals. This is what I think.
Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions? Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division and we have the fight that everyone wants to see.
Adding some light towards his rivalry against Paddy Pimblett, Ilia Topuria said he's open to fighting Paddy, but only under certain conditions. He made it clear that if the right terms are met, he definitely plans to give Paddy the opportunity to step into the octagon with him. Topuria is confident and ready, but he wants the fight to make sense for both sides before agreeing.
The Oliveira fight is a massive fight, but the one that's sort of been brewing for years and been brewing in the background is this Paddy Pimblett fight. Do you feel if you were champion that he still needs to win one more before he gets that shot, or are you almost willing to give him that early to have that big grudge match and sort of finish that storyline?
For sure he needs to win one more fight because there are more contenders in the division that deserve the title shot before him. So if he wins the fight, he puts himself in a position where he can fight for the title. I will give him the opportunity to fight for the title because we have a history behind, so it's going to be a massive fight.
Adding on some info on lightweight fighter Arman Tsarukyan, Ilia Topuria mentioned that before he can fight Arman, but Arman needs to secure a few more victories or demonstrate himself further. Topuria has his own conditions that the match with Arman will only take place when Tsarukyan earns that chance by advancing the ranks a bit more. Therefore, it's not immediate that Arman must prove he's prepared first.
Arman, he needs to win also a fight. He had his opportunity to fight for the title. He pulled out for, I don't know for what reasons. So he needs to put his name again in the conversation.
Moreover, Ilia Topuria threw a significant threat to the lightweight division a few days before his open workout for UFC 317. The fighter pounded pads with deafening ferocity. His hands were fast, sharp, and with even more devastating accuracy. Every combination landed with intent, and every punch echoed in the gym like thunder. Shock, excitement, even a tiny dash of fear was etched on the faces of those watching. Topuria stepped into the octagon against Charles Oliveira, one of the deadliest finishers in UFC history with over 20 stoppage wins. Oliveira has seen it all. He has fought with champions, gotten hurt, made comebacks, and knocked out top fighters with both his striking punches and deadly submissions. This fight is more about precision than just power, experience, and who can impose themselves first. Topuria is aiming to claim the vacant UFC lightweight title, and if his performance at the open workout is anything to go by, he's coming in like a storm. But Oliveira won't fold easily. What we're looking at is a potential war.
Esa es.
Coming to the best final predictions about this explosive and most anticipated show of UFC history. Starting with Curtis Blaydes, American mixed martial artist Curtis Blaydes believes that Ilia Topuria has the edge if the fight is based on pure, straightforward power. because Topuria has the complete skill set. But Blades notes that Oliveira has dangerous submissions and relentless pressure, along with his takedown defense would allow him to open up his striking. Then he says he thinks Oliveira will stop Topuria sometime in the third round using this approach. American mixed martial artist Terrence McKinney gave Charles Oliveira respect and warned that people are counting him out, but still thinks Ilia Topuria will do very well and dominate this fight. But ultimately, McKinney believes Topuria had the right style and the strength and should be very confident in becoming the winner, and Ilia walking out of there as the victor. UFC middleweight fighter Mansour Abdul Malik shared his prediction for the potential fight. Highs fully backing Ilia Topuria. He says Ilia has a special kind of energy, the kind you see in a fighter who simply refuses to be denied. Mansour sees Ilia bringing power, confidence, and a champion mindset to the octagon. As Mansour says, Ilia truly believes he is the champion, and that mindset is what fighters need at this level.